Hello, my name's Paul Myliotis. I'm Managing Director of Msquared Capital. I have with me today Paul Miron, my joint founder and co-managing director. Today I would like to talk to you about how you actually assess a direct mortgage opportunity. Before we start, I'd like to give you an overview of Msquared Capital. We're a private credit provider, so we match borrowers that have a need for finance and investors who have monies and are seeking a return. So investors share in the interest income received by the borrowers, which generates them that return.
Importantly, we also operate what's called a contributory fund. Now, not all mortgages are the same, so investors are able to choose which one is the best suits their requirement, and they're able to create a portfolio that gives them the diversification they require as well.
So they're just not simply pulled into one class.
Yeah.
So when we're assessing risk, there are 5 aspects of risk that we think that is a non-negotiable. You can't just take one aspect in isolation to assess a direct mortgage. So let's go through, Paul, those 5 key risks.
So we look at the character of the person, we look at capacity, we look at the cash flow of the borrower, the competency, and importantly, we look at the collateral, the strength of the security.
When we're looking generally, I think you don't get into the meat of looking at that risk assessment. So we've got a live example that we're looking to fund an opportunity at the moment. So let's take you through that journey of that credit risk assessment. So as an overview, a borrower came to us with a need to refinance. There was a specific requirement in a specific time frame. The property was quite unique, which we'll go into a little bit later. So Msquared was able to tailor a finance solution for this borrower, and it was really appealing for that borrower to come to us.
In addition, people come to us for the speed and our ability to assess risk and our ability to tailor the solution for them as well.
So on the first aspect of collateral, in collateral, we're assessing the unlikely event that the borrower defaults on his or her commitments. How do we recover the investor's capital and interest?
Yeah, in this instance, you have a 1,200 square metre house, which is surrounded by an additional 16,000 square meters of land that can be further subdivided. So it is in a very blue chip suburb. It's very sellable, and also has multiple exits. So that's what we're looking for in that aspect.
So it was a big tick in that aspect to pass the credit assessment for collateral. The second aspect is character. Now, character, when we look at character, we're looking at the borrower's history and how that borrower performs under pressure.
Absolutely. So we do the necessary searches. We see what other lenders that particular borrower has been with before. And as they have a common saying, a leopard doesn't change their spots. So if the borrower has had previous bad history with other lenders, they most likely will have it with us as well.
So in this instance, we had a borrower that is an existing borrower with Msquared that hasn't had a blemish for 13 months. All sorts of searches came back positive. So there was a green tick on the character piece.
Yes.
The next aspect is capacity and cash flow. Now, with capacity, we're assessing the borrower's ability to pay interest when the payments become due. Now, we pay our investors monthly, so a borrower paying their interest is imperative.
Absolutely. So look, you're looking at the cash flow and the capacity. So we've done our assessments on it. The borrower has a construction company that he has regular cash flow from, and he has multiple assets that he's able to sell down and make the interest commitments when it's required as well.
So in this instance, again, capacity, cash flow, big tick in this instance. Competency. Now, when we're looking at competency, we assess whether the borrower has the smarts to deliver on what they say that they are going to do.
Yeah. In this instance, the borrower had 15 years experience in his profession. He's a very professional property investor, and he's done very well in the past as well. So those are the things that we're looking in this instance as well. That track record.
So in this particular transaction, you had I'll go through the metrics. Investors received monthly interest payments of 8% paid monthly. The investment terms 12 months with a 6-month minimum. Importantly, we're only lending 53% of the value of that asset. So in simple terms, for our investors to lose monies, the property value has to decrease by over 40%.
That's right. So in the history of the property market, we have not seen those type of declines as yet.
Again, it is not a term deposit, so you're going up the risk curve. You need to assess that risk. However, in the direct mortgage space, it is generally a lower LVR is what you are looking for. We are looking to fund this particular transaction in early October, and it's a first registered mortgage. So thank you for watching us today. We could talk for hours, but if you're interested in more information on how we actually assess credit or want to know more about us, please go to info, send us an email at info@msqcapital.com.au. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.